come your way again tonight on your one and only program, Questions in the Heart. How has your day been? On Questions in the Heart and the month of March, we've dedicated this month specially for children, for our children all over the world. We are advocating in this month of March on Questions in the Heart for children's safety, for our children's protection, for children's provision. It's just about children because our children are the future of our tomorrow. They are the leaders of tomorrow. It's our concern to see that its kids live the life they desired. So it's a special month on Questions in the Heart for children all over the world as we advocate for their safety, their peace, their provision, their joy. And to begin with me on this special month dedicated to children on Questions in the Heart is a very special guest of mine that I'm going to get you to meet after this short break. Tonight, we are live on www.faithworldtv.com for those who are not on Sky. Let them log on quickly and be part of tonight's episode. Every child has got a right to life. I'll be back. We are here only because of you. If Questions in the Heart has been a blessing, we would ask of you to please sow towards our ministry so we can keep doing what we do. Please support us. Our website address is www.questionsintheheart.com. Please click on the PayPal link. Telephone 0788 120 7952. As you give towards this work, we can reach more and liberate more. God bless you.
Do you need help with your immigration issues in the UK? Then listen to this from Victory Legal Services Luton, led by Mrs. Marian Owonifa, LLB Honors, MA Advice and Legal Work. We are specialists in immigration and nationality law, debt and consumer law, housing law, social security law. Contact us today at number 20 Southampton Gardens, Luton, Bedfordshire, LU3 3UA. Or you can call us on 01582 524 521 and 07862 254 673. Our website is www.victorylegalservices.co.uk. We are a legal firm that is regulated by the OISC. Contact us today and you will...
Thanks for staying with us. With me tonight is a very gorgeous princess. Well, don't say that's Esther's way of welcoming our female guests, especially. She's a real princess. She's a woman that wears a coat of many colors. If I should start to give you, the lowdown of who she is tonight, we won't leave it. I'm gonna get her to introduce herself to you. That might be a surprise tonight. She is a woman of many colors. She's affected her nation, affected these generations, the generation we are now and the ones coming with our good works. It's an honor, a very big honor. It's such an honor to have her for the very first time on Questions in the Heart. Welcome with me tonight, Princess D. That's what I'm going to call you. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
What an honor to have you on Questions in the Heart.
It's an awesome delight to be here with you.
Someone told me backstage that you've got the real princess of Shagamu here tonight.
Yes, you have.
Who is Princess Deun?
Wow. First of all, thank you so much for giving me a spot in your space. And also, I want to say a big well done to you and your team.
Thank you.
For the great work you're doing.
Thank you, ma'am.
When I see the younger generation in this industry, my heart dances with joy. Because at least we know that the industry is not dead. And there are people like yourself who are doing great things. and I just wish you all the best.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So the question was, who is Princess D?
Yeah, let's meet you.
I'm just, well, I am a princess. Princess is not a nickname.
Our Royal Highness.
Yes, ma'am. It's not a pet name. It's my title.
Wow.
I'm the granddaughter of His Royal Majesty, Oba William Christopher Adedoyin-Solarin, the Akarigbo of Remaland. And for people who don't know where that is, it's in Shagamu, Ogun State,
In the heart of
Nigeria, the most beautiful country in the world.
You can preach that.
I did journalism and communication arts, so I am a broadcaster. I've been in the electronic and print media for over 35 years.
Wow.
And don't try to guess my age. You'll get
Wow.
it.
You don't want me to start my mathematics.
But
Wow.
I'm a wife of Adedoyin-Solarin, one of Africa's leading intellectual property lawyers. I'm a mother of 4 delightful children, 2 boys and 2 girls, aged 34, 30, 21 and 15. The first child of my father, so I'm the bearer, which is the first child and first daughter. And I proudly wear my royal beads.
It's beautiful.
I'm an entrepreneur. I love what I do in broadcasting. Broadcasting is my life.
Wow.
I am broadcasting.
Wow.
It's something that makes me happy because it's people-oriented. I love people. I'm a people's person. I love to see people happy. Sometimes I feel like I'm this Madam Fix-It, even though I know I can't fix everything. But I just try my best, even if it's just to see somebody smile. That would make my day. All in all, I just call myself simply a 21st century change agent.
Wow.
And I pray that God continues to give me the enablement to do the little bit that I do in the community.
You will.
Amen.
Honor to have you again.
Thank you.
On Questions in the Heart. Well, like I said during my introduction, we have dedicated this month this month of March on Questions in the Heart for children all over the world. We want to advocate for our children's safety, peace, care, and attention from, all government departments, all phases of life, all walks of life, from all nations and countries, not just a particular nation or a particular country. There's a lot going on around. I don't want to start mentioning names of, countries or nations. There are a lot going on around that is affecting our innocent children all over the world. Tonight, my first question to you would be, why is it important for us to keep the safety, peace, and care of any child, wherever they are?
Thank you so much. When you were asking that question, my mind was beep, 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 beep. And something dropped into my spirit. A song that Mr. George Benson wrote. He composed it. I believe that children are the future.
Yes, sir.
Teach them well and let them know the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Make the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. So when we're talking about children, we were once children. The Queen was once a child. My grandfather, the King, was once a child. Everybody at some point in their lives, they didn't drop as full-grown human beings. So when you're a child, you're fragile, you're vulnerable, you're helpless, sometimes voiceless, powerless. It's the duty of the generation that you're born into, the generation that receives you as a child. It's the duty of that generation to care, to nurture, to raise, to provide for, to protect that child. It's just our duty. It's not something that you can choose to do or not to do. Therefore, we ask ourselves, why do we then have children? If in having children, the ultimate is to expose them to being ridiculed, to being raped, to being violated, to being oppressed, to being killed, which is the ultimate.
Which is the ultimate.
So what is the point of doing that? Then we might as well sew up our wombs, the men might as well sew up their scrotums and not have children.
Yeah.
Because without children, the world will not continue.
Exactly.
When the good Lord said, go into the world, dominate, multiply, he said, be fruitful, it was a blessing. So why do we want to turn the blessings that the Creator has given us into curses by our own very selves? We must arise to look out for children. Everybody that is an adult has that duty. They are duty bound
To protect
to protect children. It's a must. The laws are there in the UN, in the EU, in the AU. Nations have the law in place, but are those laws really, are they channeled properly? Are they effective?
That's a big
Now,
question.
that's the big question.
Wow.
That is the big question.
Interesting. Interesting. I don't want to mention names of countries or nations. Should our children be victims of political scandals, so to speak?
Well, what is the business of a child?
With politics.
A child wants to play. A child wants to eat. You know, a child just wants to be free. When the child is born, the child doesn't have any political agenda. They don't even know what politics is. You know, they just want to live. It's what the environment provides that you and I and all the other adults and the leaders in the world is what the environment puts in place. That is what children imbibe. So quite frankly, children are like sponges. You know, when you take a sponge, you throw it into liquid. Whatever that liquid is, it will soak it up. So if you throw it into liquid that is toxic, it will soak up the toxicity. If you put it in liquid that is just clean, fresh water, it will soak that up. That is how a child is. So why should we expose children to all the political kerfuffle that we have in the world? What is the business of a child in politics, really? Rather, the politicians and the leaders in politics have the duty, again, I'm going back to duty now, to ensure that whatever political struggle, political disagreement that is going on, they must always remember that the casualties are usually women and children.
That's it.
And children especially. Maybe a woman at least can still carry herself and run if it's war, if she has gun. If it's a child, the child might not even know that's a gunshot. The child might hear the bang and maybe be startled, but doesn't really know what a gun is if it's a child that's never seen a gun. So we are not meant to expose children to fallouts of politics, be it war, be it disagreements, be it even unstable governments. Why should the child be the one that picks up the end of the stick? Why should the child be the one that suffers at the end of the day? Because if these adults, these leaders who are meant to have brains, who are meant to be thinking politically correctly, if they did not have adults before them that ensured that they were safe,
Isn't it? How would they get to the level they are?
they would not get to where they are. So basically, for me, I was just speaking to your manager before I came in the green room, and we're just talking about what really happens. What happens is we forget. You know, that's why I sang that song. You know. We forget that the human being forgets so easily. Even there, we have leaders in some countries, I mean, the nations we're from in Africa, whereby they've forgotten how they were as children. They've forgotten how they grew up in very, very dire circumstances. But by the grace of God, they eventually were able to make it. Now, when you go through that and you get to a place of leadership, either as a local government, chairman, or a councillor or senator, or even a governor or president or prime minister, are you not meant to reflect what was the reason why you became, why you took on that office? Is it not to make sure and ensure that, what I went through, because they say experience is the best teacher.
That's it.
What I went through, I don't want any child to go through that. So again, I throw the onus back at leaders, politicians,
religious.
and
We have
when I say leaders, I'm talking about across the
across
board.
the board. Good.
Whether you're a religious leader, be you a bishop, be you a pastor, deacon, whatever, alpha, imam, be you even a babalawo or nifa, be you a Shinto worshipper, be you a Buddhist, whatever it is that you religion or faith that you decide to embrace. If you're in a position of leadership, you need to look inwards. You need to take a mirror and look at yourself and see exactly what the mirror is showing you. And my question always is, when you look at the mirror,
What do you see?
What do you see? Is it who you think you are or who you want to be? Those were words by Mr. Jimmy Cliff, another popular reggae artist. Because there's some songs that you listen to, and they're very conscious. Yeah. They wake you up. They speak into your being. Maybe some of our leaders need to listen to more music. Conscious music, that is.
Isn't it? To get more sense. What do we do then? Or what will you advise some of these countries where we have children as victims of political or religious war? Countries where there are massive killing of, I don't want to start mentioning names, there are massive killing of our innocent children. And it looks like this government is taking no step towards, putting a serious end to this evil plague. What do you reckon should be done in this situation? A situation where kids go to school and never return to their parents, just because a government is unstable, just because there is war, just because we have a political game to play.
It's amazing how people can put their heads on the pillow at night and go to sleep. It's amazing when things like this are happening in our world, in our ecosystem. God gave us a beautiful world. But now we have earth crisis everywhere. Everywhere you look. In the UK, we're still seeing what's happening in Ukraine and Russia. That is supposed to be the Western world. So what we're trying to say here is nobody is immune. War, discontent, on settlement can happen anywhere. But because when we're talking about the African continent, it's worse there because of our mindset. Our mindset is so warped. We are too sycophantic. Where are the Jeremiahs of our times? Who stands to say, Mr. President, you are wrong. Madam Senator, you are out of order. Mr. Governor, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, but do we have a system that...
That's what I'm saying. Where are they? Where are the Jeremiahs? Where are those, defenders of humanity? Where are they? Where are the change agents of 21st century? Where are they? Talking about Africa, for me, it makes the heart bleed when we even think of, you go to South Africa, the worst, the people that get hit the worst are always children. Go to East Africa, it's the same. Let's come home to West Africa.
Horrible.
Talk about our own nation, Nigeria. The past few weeks, everybody has been saying, oh my God, what's going on again? What's going on again? What is Boko Haram? Who is Boko Haram?
Well, it's not. It's not just Boko Haram. It's everywhere.
I'm just saying, when that comes close home.
Close home, yeah.
But everywhere you look at, it's like there's an onslaught on the coming generation. That there's an onslaught to take out, the young innocent children. It's like kill them before they grow. Why? What would anybody gain? Or what would any group of people gain by massacring children. Now those children have died. Sadly,
So sad.
their parents are grieving. It's when you lose a child, it's you never get over it. As a woman, when you lose a pregnancy, you never forget. Not to talk about a child that you actually went into labor and gave birth to.
Such a horrible thing.
You never forget that. So now that some of these children have been killed, wiped out, hello, what good has it done? Has it put food on people's table? Has that created a Mercedes-Benz? Has invention come out of it? What good has come out of it? That's my question. You know, and until we stop condoning and speak out, we need to stand up. We need to speak out. I'm calling on mothers wherever you are,
all over the
on
world.
the face of the planet, wherever you are. And mother doesn't necessarily mean biological. You don't have to give birth to a child to have a heart of a mother. Mothering is something that comes from within. It's from a heart of love, wanting to care, wanting to nurture, wanting to protect, wanting to raise, wanting to defend. So every mother out there, wherever you are on the face of the planet, wherever you are staying in this ecosystem, I implore you to arise and stand up in the defense of innocent, powerless children. It is our duty. That is why we are called mothers. And that saying that the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. It seems our hands have been cut. Are we ruling any world? We can't miss it. Why must we miss it? What is going on? Are we too involved in jewelry, parties, diamonds? There's a time and place for that. I don't have anything against having a good time, letting your hair down, because that is the balance. You need equilibrium in life. All work and no play makes Jill a dull girl and makes Jack a dull boy too. But first things first, we cannot put the cart before the horse. There's some things that we need to look at. What is the point of having all these things that we acquire? Because when we go, we take nothing.
That's it.
Your car doesn't get buried with you. The presidential palace, when you leave it.
You leave it behind.
The jewelry we have, we don't take it with us. The only thing you take with you is the legacy that you've left behind. The legacy of being that person or that group of people that stood in defense of children.
All right. Now, what's your message for some of these governing bodies who will refuse to see or feel the pain that we mothers are feeling?
What's my message? I'm first going to talk to, I'm not going to talk to the men. I'm going to talk to the women in their lives. I believe if you want to know the character of a man, show me the women in his life. Who is his mother? Who is his wife? His girlfriend? His mistress? His sister? His aunt? His female relative? His daughter? His niece? His girlfriend? Who are those women in his life? Because women influence, and somehow we forget that we are the influencers. So at times, when a man makes a decision or takes a decision, maybe we need to trace how that decision came to be. When he went to bed last night, before he made that decision, who did he spend the night with? Who was in his bed? Who did he make love to? Who did he talk with? Who did he discuss his day with? Who did he run his plans by? What was her advice? What did she say? Did she warn him and say, you shouldn't be doing that? Or did she just allow him to railroad? Why? Because she was only interested in what she was going to get from that relationship. When I finish with the women in the man's life, then I go to the actual women who are decision makers. We have women who are presidents. At least Africa can boast of two. We have President Senator Johnson in Liberia. We have President Joyce Banda in Malawi. So we have 2 women in the whole of Africa. Then when we look at parliamentarians, we have women senators.
Definitely.
We have women deputy governors. We have women who are members of the House of Representatives, members of the National Assembly. We have women who are chairmen of local governments. We have women councillors. We have women who are national leaders. So we do have, we might not be many, many in number, but we have women. Now, my challenge is, you women, what are you doing?
In the midst of this.
Are you sleeping? I say, you snooze, you lose. You can't afford to snooze. You can't afford to be caught napping. So in the midst of you having your gile, and you having your jewelry, and you having all the siren cars following you, we have women who are ministers. What are they doing? What exactly are they doing? If you're supposed to be in government, you're supposed to be contributing your quota, whether it's in health, whether it's in oil sector, whatever sector, and you're contributing your quota, you must also make sure that you have your other cap on, the cap of a mother, the cap of a woman, because even men also need to be mothered.
Exactly. They are babies.
I always say I have 5 children. The 4 I gave birth to and the 1 I'm married to. No, it's not an insult, but men just need. Which person was not born of a woman?
Nobody.
Every human being, including Jesus. We're told that a woman gave birth to him. Muhammad had a mother. Buddha had a mother. Obatala had a mother. Somebody gave birth to them, and that somebody was female, was a woman. So there's so much a woman needs to do. That's why on social media today, for this show, I was saying, I'm calling on all mothers first.
Exactly. We need them now.
Mothers need to waken up. We need to arise. We need to know exactly why are we here. Why are we here? Is your life just going to be, oh, she just came, and that's it? Even if it's just your child in your little village that you nurtured well. Kudos to you. You've done a great job. And you don't have to look after a child that you gave birth to alone.
Exactly.
People adopt children. In Africa, adoption is not even something, it
comes easy.
It comes easy. We adopt every day. It's part of our lifestyle. And when I say that, I'm not saying those who take little children and use them as housemaids. That's something different. That is not adoption. That is slavery in 21st century. So if you're out there, you're in anywhere in Africa, particularly in Nigeria, you've got all those little kids as maids, have a good think, because one day you and I are going to die. Our children are going to be here. You don't want to think what's going to happen to your children when you're gone. So how you treat somebody else's child, their parents will not put them out to work if they were not poor. Poverty is what pushes people to extremes. Who would want to give their child to go and work in some faraway town or another country so that they can eat and keep body and soul together? It's desperation. It's the extreme. So if you have any maids, make sure your maids are 16 and above. If you have a maid that is under 16, give that child back. It's a child, and that is child abuse. If nobody has told you, I am telling you, as a Yoruba princess, as a woman, as a mother, as a fellow sister, I am telling you, it is child abuse. Take that child back. Maybe you didn't know before, now you know. And it happens a lot amongst the rich in our communities. It needs to be stopped.
Wow, interesting. I've got to go on a short break tonight.
Okay.
From Our Royal Highness Princess Deun tonight, that's a call to women all over the world. Should we fold our hands and watch our children die daily in conflicts? Okay, we'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll open the studio line tonight. You'll be part of the show. You'll be able to make your contribution or ask your questions. It is time for us to arise as women all over the world. She's going to come back with more message for us and defend the cause of these innocent children dying daily all over the world. We can't afford to keep quiet any longer. We'll be right back.
We are here only because of you. If Questions in the Heart has been a blessing, we would ask of you to please sow towards our ministry so we can keep doing what we do. Please support us. Our website address is www.questionsintheart.com. Please click on the PayPal link. Telephone 0788 120 7952. As you give towards this work, we can reach more and liberate more. God bless you.
Do you need help with your immigration issues in the UK? Then listen to this from Victory Legal Services Luton, led by Mrs. Marian Owonifa, LLB Honours, MA Advice and Legal Work. We are specialists in immigration and nationality law, debt and consumer law, housing law, social security law. Contact us today at number 20 Southampton Gardens, Luton, Bedfordshire, LU3 3UA. Or you can call us on 01582 524 521 and 07862 254 673. Our website is www.victorylegalservices.co.uk. We are a legal firm that is regulated by the OISC. Contact us today and you will...
As women, well, we'll start from us women. We've got a duty of care for these innocent children dying daily, for those that are kids and for those that are not. Here is a call out tonight. Enough of our children dying from the hands of politicians, from the hands of whoever it is that is sapping into the future. Well, I was thinking, you wipe off the children and the youth and the young people of any community, of any country, of any nation. You wipe off the future of such a nation. And when a country will focus on eradicating children on the platform of proving a political or religious point, are they not thinking?
Of course they're not.
Will soon they have anybody to govern when all these kids are gone?
They'll probably cover the stones and the trees and the sand.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. What do you think? Well, because at times women we're kind of very careful in handling tough political issues. We don't want to get involved. We don't want. I was telling someone yesterday, I said, we don't feel the pain until it happens to you, or happens to someone very close to you.
So awesome that you raised that question. When we look at especially children, you know, it's amazing. When a child is born, there's joy everywhere. Oh, wow. Congratulations. Well done to the mother. Oh, what a blessing to the family. You know, and the joy rings through, you know, not only that particular household, but maybe the streets. And, you know, okay, seventh day, there's a naming ceremony or however it is done in whatever culture. And then this child starts to grow. If this child is sleeping, if a king is supposed to be the highest, you know, by the way, I hope people understand that kings are actually higher than presidents and governors. So Africans need to know that. So if a king stands up to speak, they will say, shh, the baby is sleeping. And the king will say, the king will be quiet, or the queen will be quiet because the baby is sleeping. Doesn't that tell us something about the aura that guards a child and a baby, you know? And then that same baby grows, becomes a toddler or a child, and these same adults that welcome this child into the world now carry guns and machetes and knives and go to slaughter them. First of all, anybody that does that, believe me, needs their heads examined. I have a feeling that there's some mental disability somewhere, you know, and I'm not saying that to insult people who are genuinely, you know, disabled mentally. There are some people, but these are people who actually go out there to massacre children. My question is, what is there to gain? Also, if, for instance, the child of somebody who is the president, or the governor, or somebody who's a senator, or a king, their child was slaughtered senselessly or violently massacred, what will they do?
Exactly.
Will they be quiet? In Yoruba land, we have a proverb that says, "Omo kan oju kan lo,"
Isn't it? Isn't it?
which means no child is greater than another. A child is a child. President Obama, little did they know that that child that was born, that was fathered by that Kenyan man, was going to one day be the most important president in the world. He was looked after, he was nurtured, he was cared for.
God bless you, ma. I'm going to take a short break and we'll get back to you soon. Don't go nowhere, don't touch the dial. I've got your text messages. I'll start reading them out when we return. We'll see you soon. Oh, no, we use that next week.
Poverty
It's okay.
is complex and widespread. It devastates communities, families, and those most vulnerable, children. But in the midst of great poverty, God provides the local church. A church is a family, a community, reaching out to their neighbors, to children. God brings his hope and love to people of all nations through his church. But to reach out to children and families living in poverty, a church sometimes needs a partner. That's where Compassion comes in. Compassion works in partnership with local churches in more than 26 developing countries around the globe. Our goal is to see children released from poverty in Jesus' name. Through the love and practical support of their local church, Compassion is proudly Christ-centered, child-focused, and church-based. We believe that addressing poverty in all its complexity and difficulty means showing children and their mums and dads that God loves them and sent Jesus for them. He's the only one able to truly release children from the 4 forms of poverty: spiritual, socio-emotional, physical, and economic. With the commitment of the local church and the power of God, our strategic programs have seen more than 1 million children released from poverty since 1952. All around the world, local people, highly trained, dedicated staff, local experts like doctors and teachers, passionate volunteers from the local church are building relationships with children, encouraging them, improving their access to medical care, clean water, nutritional support, and an education at a local school, showing them a different path, a path that will lead them out of poverty and into a new hope. From the womb to the workforce, Compassion helps in the long-term development of children, because focusing on children is a powerful and effective way to spread wider change through families and communities. So how does it work? It works by nurturing babies in their first critical years of life and empowering their mothers through the Child Survival Program. It works by equipping school-aged children for life through education and the individualized support of the Child Sponsorship Program. It works by enabling selected students to attend university and receive Christian leadership training through the Leadership Development Program. Compassion further supports these programs through Respond initiatives, which includes initiatives like building wells, classrooms, toilets, providing parents education and much more. Together, these programs help around 6,000 local churches meet the needs of children in their communities. From Bangladesh to Burkina Faso, from Ethiopia to El Salvador, local people are creating local solutions to the problem of poverty. And in all of those communities and churches, one thing stays the same. Our partnerships are built on integrity, trust, and accountability. So who is Compassion? Together, we're 1.4 million children, babies, mums and students, and 1 million more graduates. We're hundreds of thousands of supporters and sponsors. We're passionate child advocates. We're mums and dads. We're businesses. We're community groups and churches. We're a community, a family that stretches across continents. We're united in heart, one in spirit, convinced that Christ and his church all over the world can work mighty wonders in the face of extreme poverty. We're Compassion, and we're releasing children from poverty in Jesus' name.
It's a month dedicated to children all over the world, like I told you earlier, on Questions in the Heart. And by the grace of God, in 3 weeks, I'll be on my way to India with Compassion UK on a mission to getting our children out of poverty. Pray along with us, support us. By the grace of God, next week, Compassion UK will be on the show with me. They'll be able to tell us more about them. But meanwhile, we've got our princess in the house tonight, our Royal Highness Princess Deun. You run a charity project as well, Mom.
Well, I sit as chair and chair of board of trustees and official global spokesperson for the Girl Child Network Worldwide charity. It was founded by a wonderful Zimbabwean woman, Her Royal Highness Mojari Betty Makoni.
Okay.
She's a princess from the Manica land in Zimbabwe. She's an Ashoka Fellow. She's a CNN. In fact, she was the top CNN hero in 2009. And to date, our charity, we have helped over 375,000 girls in Africa and outside of Africa.
Wow.
And what Mojari Betty came up with was she came up with a template. Rather than you have the big organizations going to give Africa coming with cap in hand, what she came up with was charity begins at home. So she started her charity in her village. So she has it in Chitungwiza, in Chitsotso, in Rusape. She has built 3 empowerment villages for girls.
Wow.
It was to look after girls who were being raped, girls who were disadvantaged because of poverty, girls who had become orphaned because their parents had died of HIV, AIDS, and just girls who had no other way to survive. So they are there. We have those 3 empowerment villages there.
Okay.
We also have Girl Child Network Sierra Leone. We have a lovely lady called Anita Koroma who runs that. She's the country coordinator of that. We have Girl Child Network in Uganda. We have a lovely lady called Melody, who is actually one of our graduates. She also went through Girl Child Network and she graduated, went to school, got married. She runs the one in Uganda. And we do a lot of work also in the US, in Canada, and also here in the UK. And Mojari Betty Makoni, who's the founder and CEO of Girl Child Network, she actually sits on the Foreign Office as a gender expert. She sits on their board. So she works very closely with William Hague. For me, children are children. I can't bear to see a child suffer. I just can't bear it. I can't bear to see a child suffer. People who have gone through maybe not having a mom, or who have gone through being subjected to live with wicked relatives, or maybe who have had wicked stepmothers. They would understand what it is for a child to suffer.
1 minute, ma'am. Good evening, thanks for calling. Vivian?
Please, God bless you.
Hi, Vivian from Italy. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, God bless you.
Amen.
I want to thank you for your program, and I want to thank the princess.
Okay.
And what she was saying, she's very right. When the foundation is bad, what can the righteous
do?
Most of this time, women, they don't have time for their kids again. They are running after money. They don't care what the children are doing because when their home background is bad, they expose the children to evil hands, you know. So mothers, as she has said, we have to rise up and take care of these children because they are the leader of tomorrow.
That's right.
If mothers don't have time for their children, they expose their children to those people who call themselves to be a politician or whatever they call themselves. So anybody can use the children. If mother has time for the children and take care of the children and sit them down, he said, teach your children where they will grow in the hands of the Lord. So this time around, mothers, they are just too after money. All this earthly something, vanity upon vanity, is equal to vanity. So they don't have time for their children. They don't build the future of their children. So it is very good. It's a good program. So far, so good. The whole program you have been, you know, in the question of this house, this is the best I have ever seen.
Oh. Thank you so much, Vivian. Thank you so much.
The mother should sit the children down and teach them. You know, going to this place, all their children, they don't carry gun. But the poor ones are the ones they are using.
Okay. Thank you so much, Vivian, all the way from Italy. Our time is fast going tonight. Someone sent a text, ma, saying, why are innocent children being used as checkmate by the government of countries?
Checkmate.
Yeah.
How do they mean?
Well, turn them into brainwash them, use them, turn them into suicide bombers, use them as human shield, etc. Why and what can a government of a nation do to curb this problem?
Thank you so much.
We've got the problem everywhere in Africa, all over, so what can we do?
Funny enough, it's amazing when we always want to shift solutions to government.
The government.
Who is government? You and I are government. You know why we're government? We voted those people in. So you have a say, you know, and you have a part in getting them to office. So back again, for me, I would still say mothers. This is a call to mothers.
Are you saying the government has got a part to play?
Who put people there?
Well, they're there now.
They're human beings. When we talk about government, I don't want us to see government as some pie in the sky or, you know, something that is alien. It's made of people, and those people are male and female. But what I'm trying to say is we need to checkmate government. We need to teleguide them and tailgate them. We need to be able to say, what are you doing? Or why are you doing that? We need to be able to question. And the people to do that, which I'm continuing to repeat, are women. Women have to wake up. I think we've been sleeping for too long. We've been sleeping for too long.
It's time to wake up.
Yes.
A wake-up call for women all over the world. We've been sleeping for too much and our children are dying in conflict. It's time to arise and fight for the cause of these innocent ones. Nigerian women are marching to the High Commission to protest the killing of innocent children way back in our great country, Nigeria. When is this taking place and what is the organizers hope to achieve? Do you have any clue about this?
I do know of that march. I know of it. I've heard of it. I've read a bit about it on social media, and I think the women are getting themselves together. And it's either sometime this week or next week. And basically what they're going to do is, like a peaceful demonstration. They're not going to break down any walls or shoot anybody. Women are peaceful, really. We're peaceful creatures. But we can also be forceful. If we want something done, we know how to demand for it. So what they want to do is they're sending a very strong message to the Nigerian government through the embassy, because the embassy is a representative of the government here in the UK. So they're going to go with their placards, they're probably going to go with a letter and petitions that have been signed, and they're going to send a message through the High Commissioner, Delatu Tafida, for him to take to his boss, Jonathan Goodluck, and the rest of the people in Nigeria, David Mark, who is the President of the Senate, and all the other senators and the governors, for them to wake up, because these children could be their children. It could be the president's child or children. It could be David Mark's children. It could be the children of Abike Dabiri, who is in the house there. It could be Desiani's children, who's a minister. It could be the child of Fashola, who's a governor. So I'm calling their names because I want them to wake up. You get what I'm trying to say? So these women are going there to the High Commission to place their petition and say, tell the president and all his men and women. This has nothing to do with party now. It has nothing to do with the UP, ACN, and no. It has nothing to do with party. These are children of Nigeria. And their parents are mourning. And who knows how many that are going to be killed again if we do not step in, intervene, and cry out. And when this message is sent, we're hoping that the women in Nigeria too will do likewise. So they need to go to all governors.
I was going to ask you that. What are the practical steps you think women can take to get the government's attention in a case like this?
For instance, remember there were some women a few months ago that were subject to, gender violence. We call them the Ejigbo women. And we made sure in the diaspora that we did not let that story die. We kept on hankering about it, sending, messages on social media, sending emails, just make sure that they did not rest in Nigeria. And we sent word to the commission, the deputy governor of Lagos State, who also happens to be the commissioner in charge of women affairs and children. And today, I was very happy to hear that those men that committed all those atrocities, because about 2 of the women died, those men have been jailed. So if you didn't hear that, now you know. The people that were the perpetrators against the Ejigbo women, they have been jailed. Why? Because you and I refused to keep quiet. There's a quote that I love very much. And it's by Professor Wole Soyinka. He says, the man and woman dies in all who keeps silent in the face of tyranny. That is tyranny. What's going on is tyranny. Killing innocent children is tyranny. And if we fold our arms and just keep quiet and go along our lives as if everything's okay and hunky-dory, that means we're dead. We are as dead as those children. Because what kind of a life do you want to live, knowing that you're ignoring what will, not can, what will affect your own future generations? So those women are doing the right thing, and I believe that Dr. Dalatu Tafida will also have the right sense, as our High Commissioner here, to take that message back to the president in Nigeria, and I'm hoping and praying that they will all wake up. Because it could be their children next.
Isn't it?
No matter how many barbed wires you have around your home, no matter how many armored cars you have, no matter how many security guards, SSS, you have around you, if you're not careful and you do not do the right thing, it will come to bite you.
Interesting. Someone said she's been trying our studio line but not coming through. Well, that's the problem we encounter when there are too many calls trying to come in at the same time. We're very sorry. Our time is gone tonight. We really have to go. It's such an honor having you on Questions in the Heart tonight. And the message has been, women, arise. Wake up from your slumber. Let's challenge. Let's advocate. Let's cry out for the peace, the safety, the care and the protection of our children. And as we do, the world will be a better place to live in. We hope to have you on Questions in the Heart again soon. I'm sure people are trying to get through to you, via calls while our line is kind of jammed tonight. We've got to go. It's Children's Month on Questions in the Heart. I'll come your way again next week with another life-changing episode and a challenge for you to arise and be a part to a child's future. God bless you, ma. Once again, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
Till I see you 10 times, same station next week. Arise and fight the cause of innocent children. God bless you.
We are here only because of you. If Questions in the Heart have been a blessing, we would ask of you to please sow towards our ministry so we can keep doing what we do. Please support us. Our website address is www.questionsintheart.com. Please click on the PayPal link. Telephone 0788 120 7952. As you give towards this work, we can reach more and liberate more. God bless you.